Good morning ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs of 29th March. First question is, who has been appointed as new BCCI'S ad-hoc ethics officer? Right answer is Mr. D.K. Jain. So Mr. D.K. Jain, who is newly appointed ombudsman for BCCI, will also be the ad-hoc ethics officer. Ad-hoc means temporary, for the time being. The mandate of ethics officer is to look into the matters of conflict of interest involving players, coaches and officials. Now, if we talk about BCCI, it is Board of Control for Cricket in India. If we talk about cricket, recently mankading was in news. It is a method of run out where the bowler dismisses a non-striker batsman before bowling when the batsman is outside the crease. Apart from that, recently Mr. Suresh Raina has become the first cricketer in the history of Indian Premier League to score 5,000 runs. On the other hand, recently Supreme Court of India has appointed Mr. P.S. Narasimha as mediator for resolving various disputes related to cricket administration in our country. BCCI is affiliated to ICC. ICC stands for International Cricket Council, and recently Mr. Manu Sahani has been named as new CEO of ICC. The present CEO of ICC is Mr. David Richardson, and Mr. Manu Sahani will assume charge from July 2019. Mr. Shashank Manohar is the chairman of ICC. The headquarters of ICC is in Dubai in UAE. Next is, who of the following have won the 2018 ACM A.M. Turing Award? Right answer is all of the above. So 3 researchers have won the 2018 ACM A.M. Turing Award for the breakthroughs in artificial intelligence. These 3 are Mr. Joshua Bengio, Mr. Geoffrey Hinton and Mr. Jan LeCun. If we talk about few other awards, recently former ISRO scientist Mr. Nambi Narayanan has been conferred the 2019 Padma Bhushan Award. Apart from him, recently Brazilian physicist and astronomer Mr. Marcelo Glacier has been awarded prestigious Templeton Prize. On the other hand, recently Miss Karen Uhlenbeck has become the first woman to win Abel Prize. Abel Prize is considered as Nobel of Mathematics. And former RBI Governor Mr. Raghuram Rajan has been honored with 2018 Yashwantrao Chauhan National Award for his contribution to economic development. Apart from him, Mr. Peter Tabichi won the Global Teacher Prize. Next is Prafulla Rajguru, the veteran journalist and academician, passed away recently. He was from which state? Right answer is Assam. Mr. Rajguru was from Assam. He was a veteran journalist and academician, and he recently passed away. If we talk about few other personalities who passed away recently Miss Ashita, who was a renowned Malayalam writer, also passed away. Apart from her, recently Miss Vinjamuri Ansuya Devi also passed away. She was a folk artist. On the other hand, recently Mate Mahadevi passed. She was a prominent Lingayat leader. Apart from her, recently Mr. Masazo Nonaka passed away. He was a Japanese, and at a time, the Guinness World Records officially recognized Mr. Nonaka as world's oldest living man. Apart from him, recently Mr. Hakusha also passed away. He was a renowned Indian artist. Next is Tashigang, which is the world's highest polling station, is located in which of the following Indian states? Right answer is Himachal Pradesh. Tashigang is a small village of Himachal Pradesh, and now it has become the world's highest polling station. This is the part of Mandi Lok Sabha seat of Himachal Pradesh. Mandi Lok Sabha seat is the second largest constituency in our country. If we talk about Himachal Pradesh, recently the state government of Himachal Pradesh declared monkeys as vermin for next 1 year. That means the state forest authorities and people are allowed to carry out extermination because it won't be considered as a criminal offense. On the other hand, the State Assembly of Himachal Pradesh also passed a bill to make Sanskrit as second official language of state. The first official language of Himachal is Hindi. Himachal Pradesh was also in news as it has become the first state in India to launch single emergency number 112. If we talk about Northeast, Nagaland has become the first state in India to launch single emergency number. If we talk about elections, recently Facebook has started 2 new specific tools keeping Indian elections in mind. These are Candidate Connect and Share You Vote. Apart from that, recently Election Commission of India has appointed social activist Gauri Sawant as one of the 12 election ambassadors from Maharashtra, and this is first time that a transgender has been appointed as election ambassador. If we talk about Election Commission of India, it is a constitutional body. Next is, which international organization has recently released the 2018 Multidimensional Poverty Index? Right answer is UNDP. So recently 2018 Global Multidimensional Poverty Index has been released. As per this index, India has reduced its poverty drastically from 55% to 28% between 2005-06 to 2015-16. However, India is still on the top when it comes to poor population. If we talk about report, the report has been released by UNDP, that means United Nations Development Programme, and Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative. As per the report, out of 640 districts in India, Alirajpur district of Madhya Pradesh is the poorest. And if we talk about states, Bihar is still the poorest state with more than half of its population in poverty. Now your homework is to find out what is the present poverty line. If we talk about few other indexes, recently United Nations released World Happiness Index. As per that index, India's ranking is 140. Previous year, India's ranking was 133. So India's ranking is dropping down, and as a result, India is among 5 countries that had largest drop since 2005 to 2008. The other such countries are Yemen, Syria, Botswana and Venezuela. And Finland is the most happiest country as per this index. Apart from that, recently Global Energy Transition Index was released by World Economic Forum. As per that index, India is on 76th position. On the other hand, recently Bloomberg Innovative Index was released, and for the first time, India was in this list. India was on 54th position. The list has been topped by South Korea. On the other hand, in terms of Corruption Perception Index, India is on 78th position. Denmark is the least corrupt country. And in terms of Gender Gap Index, India is on 108th position. Iceland is on top. And in Asia, Philippines is on top. The Gender Gap Index is released by World Economic Forum. Next is, which international organization has recently published the Global Energy and CO2 Status Report? Right answer is IEA. So International Energy Agency has recently released Global Energy and CO2 Status Report. As per the report, India had increment in energy demand, and this increment is approximately 11% of global demand increment. Apart from that, IEA, that is International Energy Agency, was also in news as recently it released a report. The name of report was The Future of Rail. If we talk about IEA, it is International Energy Agency and the headquarters is in Paris in France. If we talk about France, recently Germany, France and UK set up EU-Iran payment channel. The name of payment channel is Instex. It is Instrument in Support of Trade Exchanges. Apart from that, France was also in news because of GAFA tax. GAFA stands for Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. The headquarters of OECD is also in France in Paris. OECD stands for Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, and OECD conducts PISA every 3 years. Recently, Ministry of Human Resource Development has signed an agreement with OECD for the participation in PISA 2021. PISA stands for Program for International Student Assessment. If we talk about MHRD, that means Ministry of Human Resource Development, it was also in news as it has launched Operation Digital Board to digitize education in our country. Next is, the scientist from which country have discovered a network of lakes beneath Totten glacier in East Antarctica? Right answer is Australia. So the researchers from Australian Antarctic program has discovered a network of lakes beneath Totten glacier in East Antarctica. If we talk about Australia, Australia is the first country to recognize orphanage trafficking as modern day slavery. Apart from that, Australia recently recognized West Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The Prime Minister of Australia is Mr. Scott Morrison. If we talk about Israel, recently it has become 38th member of FATF, that is Financial Action Task Force. The headquarters of FATF is in Paris in France. Apart from that, Israel was also in news as USA and Israel formally left UNESCO. The headquarters of UNESCO is also in Paris in France. Both Israel and USA were also in news as recently US President Mr. Donald Trump has officially recognized Israeli sovereignty over occupied Golan Heights. Golan Heights is a disputed territory between Israel and Syria. Apart from that, recently USA was also in news as the second USA-North Korea summit held in Hanoi in Vietnam. The president of North Korea is Mr. Kim Jong-un. The first North Korea-USA summit held in Singapore. Next is, what is the theme of 2019 International Day of Remembrance of Victims of Slavery and Transatlantic Slave Trade? Right answer is, Remember Slavery, the Power of Arts for Justice. Every year on 25th of March, International Day of Remembrance of Victims of Slavery and Transatlantic Slave Trade is observed. If we talk about few other important days of March, 27th of March is World Theatre Day, while 21st of March is World Poetry Day. 21st of March also observed as International Day of Forest, and the theme of International Day of Forest was Forest and Education. 22nd of March is World Water Day, while 23rd of March is World Meteorological Day, and 24th of March is World Tuberculosis Day. The theme of this year World TB Day was It's Time. Next is, recently Azali Assoumani got re-elected. He is the president of which country? Right answer is Comoros. Recently, Mr. Azali Assoumani got re-elected as the president of Comoros. If we talk about Comoros, the capital of Comoros is Moroni. Apart from him, recently Mr. Kasim Jomart Tokayev became the president of Kazakhstan. As the former president of Kazakhstan, Mr. Nursultan Nazarbayev resigned recently, and in his honor, Kazakhstan has officially renamed its capital from Astana to Nur Sultan. Kazakhstan was also in news as it is the host of Shanghai Cooperation Organization Joint Military Exercise. If we talk about geographical location of Kazakhstan, it is a Central Asian country, and the capital of Kazakhstan is Astana, which has been now renamed as Nur Sultan. If we talk about few other presidents who were in news recently, Nigerian President Mr. Muhammadu Buhari got re-elected. Apart from him, recently Mr. Macky Sall got re-elected. He is the president of Senegal. Next is, which of the following sports have been recommended by IOC for 2024 Paris Olympics? Right answer is all of the above. So the Executive Board of IOC, that is International Olympic Committee, has recommended adding breakdancing, skateboarding, sport climbing and surfing to the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. If we talk about IOC, it is International Olympic Committee. It is a sports federation and it was formed in 1894. It is responsible for the conduction of modern day Olympics. The headquarters of IOC is in Lausanne in Switzerland. If we talk about Olympics, the Winter Olympics held in 2018 in South Korea, while the next Winter Olympics will be in 2022 in China. The last Summer Olympics held in Brazil in 2016, and the next Summer Olympics will be in Tokyo in Japan in 2020. If we talk about Youth Olympics, Youth Winter Olympics held in Norway in 2016, and next Youth Winter Olympics will be in Switzerland in 2020. If we talk about Youth Summer Olympics, the most recent edition of Summer Olympics held in Argentina in 2018, and the next one will be in Senegal in 2022. Apart from that, there was one more Olympic event which was in news, as recently UAE hosted the Special Olympics World Summer Games 2019. UAE was also in news as world's largest e-waste recycling facility has been recently opened at Dubai Industrial Park in UAE. The country was also in news as UAE government has launched a program named Lose to Win. Thank you, and that's all for the day.